Going live.
Hello, history buffs. Ready for a journey back? Look at this encampment. The spirit of 76 is alive.
Freedom of future. A true patriot savors these moments, but the fight for liberty calls. To the encampment for freedom of future.
For liberty. This is what American patriotism is all about. Look at these flags. They represent our fight for liberty.
The hour our liberty is at hand. For freedom, let's rob by. Secure our liberty. My fellow patriots, the hour of decision is upon us. Let us march forth with courage to secure our liberty.
Welcome to my colonial home. Today, Del Payne's work captures the spirit of we fight for independence. And our freedom. Greetings from the encampment. The spirit of liberty is strong. We will fight for our rights and our freedom.
Hour is late. We must enact. To the encampment for liberty. Soldiers, the enemy is near. Front line, friendly.
Hello, friends. I am your host for tonight. My name is Kim.
I'm great. Oh, come on.
That echoes back. I'm Nora Christine.
Thank you all for joining us today. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Please engage in the comments. We love that. We're going to talk about a few things today. We're going to start with Officer Tatum, then go into a little bit about AOC. I have some Tim Dillon for you guys, and then some Donald Trump, and then we'll end with some trans people, or the topic of trans people, who everybody on this panel loves. Starting with this topic right here. Go ahead.
Back to the very beginning of this, how do you think this should have played out? Because I always question in my mind that when I go back, I look at what happened, I look at the initial stories with Nolan, and you guys knew him, right? I didn't know him. I know none of you guys. I just had a chance to meet you guys more recently. But how do you think this should have gone? If you could control the environment, Nolan is found deceased. How do you guys think that this should have been put out to the world?
Well, first off, like I wish we would have never, like I think about this every day. Like I wish we would have never went out on the 4th of July, because I know this wouldn't have happened. Nolan wouldn't be gone, and like it's really hard to think about, because it's like I wish I would have done this different, or I wish I would have done that different, because now one of my brothers wanted to like passed away.
Oh, his brother.
I think from the beginning, I'm glad that I called the Coast Guard, and I'm glad that we came together as a group, even from the first day when people started texting us things, saying, crazy things. But I wish it wouldn't have been reported as some type of race thing. I think it's really bad that like people are pushing the narrative, oh, this is a race thing. Well, obviously it's not. I mean, this is like a brother to us. I mean, Nolan's no different than anyone else in our group. And I just wish this wasn't pushed on the media as, oh, this is a bunch of white guys that killed a black guy, or this is, like in the beginning it was like 4 guys went to a stranded island and dumped Nolan at the island and just left him there. Like even from the beginning,
Didn't
it was
they
just
leave
like
him
this
there?
thing, and no one had facts, and they were just pushing
Yes,
this
they left him
horrible
there.
narrative, all lies about everyone, and it's sick. So I wish that would have been completely different. I'm glad I called the Coast Guard. I'm glad I made the first contact within all of this. I'm glad I was the first one that called Christine Wells that night and told her that we haven't heard from her son, And I'm glad that I did all of that, but I hate the way this has been perceived by the media and portrayed. This has like been absolutely horrible with the way and the things that they've said to us and done. But other than
All right, he keeps repeating himself. Kamal, this poor guy. Okay, he said that they did not leave Nolan Wells there. It was not their fault. I'm not too familiar with this guy, Officer Tatum, but I have another clip of him that I remember a friend sharing.
Did I freeze or did she?
I think she froze. I'm press.
It's all
As soon
right.
as you start talking about a coon, they freeze you out, don't they?
Right.
That's all you really need to know about this old rockhead. Anyway, you back, Kim?
Yeah, I was
froze.
just asking you about the clip.
Well, the clip, first of all, only thing you need to know about Officer Tatum, Kim, is that this nigga is a coon. He speaks the coon dialect better than Uncle Ruckus. Second of all these little hits, and I know y'all don't know what hit mean. It means a honky in training. All these little honkies in trainings, right? They left Nolan on that island. They're lying. They're bullshitting. This is BS. You can smell through it. And I guess the dude that got his legs crossed like he a middle-aged 35-year-old man looking at stocks and shit, he must be the ringleader. All right? He didn't say not one time, man, I wish Nolan wouldn't have died, you know, or got killed and blah, blah, blah. He like, I wish I would have done other things different because this wouldn't have happened. Well, you shouldn't have left bro on the island by his goddamn self, first of all. Second of all, why the fuck y'all taking his phone? Why would they take his phone? Why didn't y'all call the police and be like, yo, like it's a bunch of things that could have happened that they could have done. But if you're trying to get away with murder, allegedly, they're probably gonna go the route they did. But I'm gonna keep it at that right there.
So, do we know which one of these boys is the son of a judge?
The one in the pink.
The one that's
The one
talking?
that's talking. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, he lost me there when he said they like that the media's trying to make it look like they just abandoned him there. They did abandon him there. And then
can I say one more thing?
Go ahead.
This one I'm tired about too, you feel me? Y'all don't do this on the panel, you feel me? We done had people though that done came on the new party, right? And said shit like this on the panel. But if your dumbass live in America, it's always about race. Stop that stupid shit. Oh, with the one about race, though. It's about race globally at this fucking point. Stop saying that bullshit. Oh, I wish it wasn't about race. It's always gonna be about race. Get over it.
I was just gonna say, just based on the county that they're in, it's something's always going to be racially motivated because of history. I was just going to add that. This is the clip that I've seen of this guy before that I had opined on.
During slavery. Do you agree with him?
Now, listen, 100%.
You believe 100%?
Now what? Wait,
you
after slavery. Let me explain, because maybe you don't know Black history. No. You don't understand Black history, and you don't understand what Charlie was saying.
Wait, what happened?
Charlie Kirk said black men like you were better off during slavery. Do you agree with him?
Now, listen, 100%.
Okay.
You believe 100%?
Now what?
So he agrees with the part where the clip where he explains himself, which is a lot longer, is even worse. But he goes to explain himself and say that he agrees that Black people were better off during slavery. I'll pivot this one to you, Gray. Are you familiar with Mr. Tatum? And
Yeah, I follow him.
Are you familiar with this particular clip?
Tim, I have the clip where he explains it.
You
want me to play it?
Yes,
I'll
please.
play it and have Gray respond because you got to hear the whole thing.
It's worse than what I showed. Yeah. Oh, perfect. Okay.
Can I say something? Because this is important before you ask Gray the question about the whole, because if white people are watching, they need to understand this. Yes. When Black people in Africa allowed the slaves to be sold or traded for whatever products, commerce with the Europeans, The reason why they allowed it is because when that was going on at the time, there was not permanent slavery. It was usually for 7 years, 5 years, a set period of time. That's something that they don't tell you, that it wasn't supposed to be generational slavery. Kamal, am I right? Have you heard that?
I ain't heard that. But I like, is that the same as indentured servants? Because it kind of sounds like
correct.
Servants.
They did not have generational slavery where you hold the person, they have you impregnate them, you breed them, which is what they were doing to slaves here in America. They didn't have that.
So you saying that the Africans were under an impression that they were selling the prisoners of war, because that's what they sold. They sold the prisoners of war. They were
but
selling
not for
them
generational.
So it wasn't supposed to be. They weren't in the mindset it was going to be generational, where like your baby's going to be in slavery too. They just thought it was supposed to be. Yeah, I ain't heard that shit. Hey, African bros, y'all need to fucking speak up then, because when we be telling y'all and saying, hey, y'all done sold us into slavery and shit, y'all always be like, it's the white man, nigga. Blame the government. It's like, hey, hey, if that's what it is, shit. I just never heard of that though. So that's interesting to me, you know?
Yeah. Well, in that Piers Morgan interview specifically, I thought I pulled the full clip, but he goes to explain how he believes and he agrees with Charlie Kirk that Black people were better off during slavery. And it has something to do with like a permanent state of like employment. And then after that is when like Black people really started suffering, and goes to explain that. Gray, are you familiar with this Mr. Tatum guy?
Yeah, I know who he is. So with the Piers Morgan clip, what he said was kind of opposite of what Nora said, because what he was saying in that clip was Black people were better off during slavery, and I completely disagree with that. I don't think anyone wants to be a slave. It doesn't matter the conditions or whatever. Slavery is not something that people want to be into. As far as him talking about Charlie Kirk and the right-wing people saying, oh, okay, people were better doing Jim Crow. Even if financially people are doing better, you have interracial relationships, you have people just more comfortable in America. So I don't agree with what Charlie Kirk said or what Officer Tatum said. I would say that slavery and servitude was something that Blacks did not enjoy. I would assume, I'm not around during that time, but I would say that that's something that people did enjoy. Someone like me, I'm glad that my ancestors went through it and I'm able to live off the fruits of their labor.
I'm trying to find the full clip, but I cannot, so we're going to move on to AOC. I will say that the argument about how there were Black people that sold Black slaves, okay, then those particular people that sold slaves are bad people. So that's what I have to say about that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't excuse it. It doesn't make it better. It's like, well, blame the Black people who sold the Black people. No, how about blame anybody involved? And especially the white slave owners who perpetuated the slavery in
I found the whole clip.
Thank you, Nora. I was just going to end it with reparations to descendants of freedmen. Let's see it.
Hatred.
Yeah, I'll say it to you. He thought you,
the
as a Black man, were better off during slavery.
Foolery that you're saying right now is what got him killed. The leftist nut jobs pushing the same stupidity that you're saying right now is the reason why Tyler Robinson killed Charlie. This is exactly the same thing.
So
you should be
saying
condemned
you can't criticize
for saying
somebody?
something silly.
So you're saying
you can't lie. You cannot lie about
any
them.
criticism, if you level any criticism of somebody, then you are responsible for their death?
You can't lie about them. The lies is what caused a person like Tyler Robinson to kill Charlie. Lies. He was not racist. He was not hateful. He did not spew hate. He was a man of courage. He had integrity, and he was fair. If you disagree with him, he let you come to the front of the line, and you can have your disagreement.
Brandon, Charlie Kirk said black men like you were better off during slavery. Do you agree with him?
Now, listen, 100%.
You believe 100%?
Now what? Wait,
you were
after
better off
slavery. Let
so
me
you're
explain,
saying
because
you would
maybe
be
you don't
better
know
off
Black history.
during slavery.
No. You don't understand Black history, and you don't understand what Charlie was saying. Listen, after slavery, there was an explosion of success in the Black community. We had Black Wall Street. We were married to the women we had children with. Black people had a tremendous amount of success. Our success was growing faster than white people during that period of time. Now look at us. Now go look at any inner city in this country, and you see people getting murdered every weekend. The leading cause of murders in this country is by Black people. Violent crimes, Black people. Abortion at disproportionate rates, Black people. A lot of things that were going well in our communities is going downhill fast after the 60s. And it's because we've been voting for these sorry Democrats for so many years, and they've done nothing for Black people. And you cannot tell me, as somebody who knew Charlie, that he was a racist. He wasn't. I knew him very well. We did a whole bunch of incredible things in the Black community. He helped out with Blexit, our Black nonprofit that helped the Black community. We took 400 Black conservatives to the White House for the first time in history. So don't you say nothing about Charlie being a racist.
Uncle Ruckus Timu version. God damn.
Well, I will say this. I understand his point in regards to during Reconstruction era, that was when Black wealth was being built. However, he's not telling you the full story that white supremacy, which he is a white supremacist sympathizer, destroyed the Black wealth. He's not telling you what they did to the Black Wall Street. He's not telling you when they would have bloody Sundays. He's not telling you how they took Black fathers out of the home due to come on, I can't think of my words, but you know what I'm talking about. Due to the fact with the welfare system. He's not telling you that. So he's not telling you the full story, but he will tout all those things, and he will say all those things are bad for the Black community, but he won't tell you the white people's role in it. And that's the issue I have with a lot of these Black conservatives. They don't have any blame on white people. It's always blame on Black people. Do I think that Black people should take some accountability? Yes, but the cause and effect, had it not been for white supremacy, I truly believe Black people would be further in this country. That's it. Period. Point blank.
Oh, you muted, Kim.
Of course I am. I was just going to say of course, and then end again with reparations to descendants of freedmen. I'm going to share this clip of...
Can I say something real quick?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Can we just call a spade a spade? Yeah, he got a lot of fucking numbers, but he retarded. Bro was like, oh, Charlie Kirk said y'all was doing better than slavery. And here go Officer Tatum. Yes, all right, boss. Yes, it is. And then he started talking about Reconstruction. The guy's retarded. You feel me? I'm sorry to say, but you know, a lot of y'all are part of that clan. Y'all don't really answer questions. So I'm gonna just assume you slow as hell.
There's a loose screw there somewhere for sure.
You feel me? So when you listen to somebody like that and they answer questions like that, it's like you can't believe nothing they say.
Right.
No, and I don't give a damn about people like rap in the chat. Like, we talk about everything, but facts are facts. Like, come back another night, because if you want the tap dancing and you want to feel good about what I'm saying, the Black conservatives will be on another night, because I'm not one of those.
Oh, hold on a minute. I ain't done this in a while, but I guess I'm gonna do it tonight, right? Oh, we got a cocksucker in the chat tonight. Only thing growing is that BBC in your mama mouth, nigga. Now get that phone. Anyway, shout out to everybody else in the chat. Y'all being cool. I think Kim frozen too.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that could be said about Officer Tatum. Gray, is he your favorite guy? I feel like you're a fan of his now. I feel like since you said you're a Zionist now, you like him.
No, I'm not with the cucking for whites. I mean, I'm definitely... Go ahead, play the clip.
Oh, no, keep going. Just talk.
I'm definitely one of the people that's like gonna just not be I'm not a race baiter as far as what the guy was saying in the chat, but I'm not gonna be somebody that's just basically gonna pretend like racism doesn't exist And I feel like that happens a lot with right-wing people. I know Slim not here to defend himself, but he's the person on the channel that's just basically like he don't see racism.
I mean, but we have people that's part of our team that literally said, I love Rippy, but I'm gonna have to call this out, and I will say this in his face. Rippy said, people say he's like Tatum, but he said, I'm nothing like Tatum because I don't like y'all N-words. I'm not a Christian. Tatum leads with love, and I hate y'all N-words.
Wow. Shout out to Mr. Rippy. He was just on a podcast. I forgot the name of it, but he was just on one. I had to pull the name up.
Mr. Rippy, friend of the show. Very good friend.
Digital, sorry, Kim, digital something.
Yeah. Sean Kelly's show.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna first of all, I'm gonna call and yell at Spectrum again later. And I'm gonna share a clip of the GOAT, AOC, 2028.
Win the Senate, so I've been focused on those legislative races.
What do you make of those controversial statements? I'm sure you've seen. I mean, she's, the Thanksgiving dust up. She says she doesn't, still believe that, but, the abolished prisons, abolished police, which is also positions that have been taken by a lot of the progressive candidates who have won. How do you get around that?
Yeah.
I mean, those are not positions that are supported by.
Right. I mean, I think that a lot of these races, even right now, they'll have a tendency to be nationalized. Yeah. But these races ultimately are local, and all politics are local. My understanding is that that Francesca Hong has made clear her present stances to her electorate.
Yeah, she's moved away from a lot of that.
Right, she's moved away from it. And I have a local city councilman that has this saying, woke one was crazy.
Oh, that's so funny. She's so funny. Nora D, I mean, nobody here likes AOC, but Nora, I did want to ask you.
But I'll say this. If AOC was genuinely, really who she said she is, if she was really philosophically who she said she was, wants to help the people, like Richie Vega, for example, good friend of the show, genuinely wasn't taking money, genuinely was getting voted out with her comrades, I would like her because she's standing for the people. She wants to help people, and I'm for all that. But isn't it funny? All her homies done got voted out, and she the only one left. How that make sense? Tell me how that work. How all your homies get arrested, and you the only one out of jail. All your homies get fired, you the only one still with the job. What does that tell you about AOC? Yep. That's why I don't like her. She's a phony and a fucking fraud. Oh, did she freeze? Kim froze again. Come on, what you think of AOC?
Kim got that Mr. Rippy Wi-Fi right now. God damn, this shit is tough. Anyway, I don't know what's more crazier. Wrap a lot of meat in his throat, mama finally getting off the knee pads, or AOC calling herself one time Martha Luther Queen. I don't know. Nora, you right. She hella disingenuous. Remember that one time she was in front of black folks? She was like, I think I can. You know we about to get the vote in here. It's like, the fuck when you turn to Jasmine Crockett? This shit crazy. Yeah, she very disingenuous, right? She hardly ever talk about policies unless it's, caping for illegal immigrants. And I do like the range that we going, because we went from the conservative side of the game and seeing how they disingenuous to the liberal side of the game and seeing how they hella disingenuous. Like this Dweeb McGee in the chat. How y'all built the plumbing and employment in Africa? Because Black Americans built the foundation of shit, you idiot. Goddamn, go Google, right? Perplexity, ChatGPT. We got too many search engines that you can use to figure this shit out. Better yet, I know you can't read, but get a book. All right? There's plenty of books on this shit too. Am I gonna tell you a book? Hell no, go do that shit yourself. You probably disingenuous like the two motherfuckers we just talked about anyway. But I'm gonna be quiet on that note.
All right. I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so embarrassed. It's very frustrating. I'm going to complain so hard to Spectrum. I'm going to make them reimburse me for these last 2 months because this is shit. With that being said, I missed no opportunity to talk shit about AOC. I donated to her campaign. I thought that
sorry for you
had some shit. Me too. And I have honestly, and even with that being said, the biggest disappointment of my life and probably humanity is Bernie Sanders. Bernard is a cuck. He has sold out his voter base to the Democratic Party, and we see that now through with these quote unquote progressives. AOC. Okay, so first of all, I want to say the whole woke shit started with Hillary Clinton and the liberal elites, because they used it against Bernie. They were calling him sexist, and they were harping on her feminism, and she's a woman, and they were the ones who started the whole cancel culture bullshit. It got started through the liberal universities. It got psyoped to the point where it made everybody start believing all this like words are violence bullshit, which is not. There's a really good book that I read. It's called The Coddling of the American Mind. Catherine Liu has a book coming out. I already pre-ordered it, I think next month. She's a leftist. She's a Marxist. And she criticizes all of these identity politics, which Bernie does, but they use it against him. AOC is a fucking sellout. She is such a joke. And the reason why I make fun of her more than I hate Hillary Clinton more, but the reason why I always make a point to make fun of her is because her sycophants always get their thongs and their G-strings in a freaking bunch, and they get so offended when you rightly criticize her. And I was going to say about the whole woke one bullshit, this bitch was the one doing all that shit. She was the one cancel culturing fucking everybody for not saying the right thing. She was the one who was like going with like the genders and the this and the that. Like she was the one going full blown. Like she would like identify herself and like every like interview, and she was the one going fucking snowflake cancel culture bullshit. She's the one who's always freaking crying and making herself the victim. You can't always be the victim. You can't always be the victim. It's not all about you. I don't even think she has what it takes to be the next Nancy Pelosi. She doesn't have a fucking backbone. She doesn't have any principles. She has no consistency. Nancy Pelosi tells you who she is. She's cosplaying as a progressive. And I think that anybody who thinks she's a viable candidate for 2028 is a fucking joke. You don't know politics. She's a goof. She's a goofball. She is.
Thank you, Ray Ray, for the jewels.
Y'all remember when thank you, Ray Ray, bro. Y'all remember when AOC was trying to do that campaign for them jeans? She was trying to sexify herself up. Y'all remember that shit?
I don't even remember that, but I don't think she's pretty. Like Jasmine Crockett is beautiful. Like I don't think she's attractive. I just think she's weird. She's a goof. She's a fucking loser. I can't even say she's pretty. Like I make
Jasmine Crockett?
Jasmine Crockett's beautiful.
Oh, she's beautiful. Yeah, she's beautiful.
Exactly. Yeah.
She just runs her mouth too much. But
she should give up politics and go into modeling. She needs to shut her mouth. She needs to go into modeling. She should be a video vixen. She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. But not AOC. Like, ugh. Anyways. Let's talk about something funny. I really like this clip. This is my favorite living comedian.
They say we want water, and we want energy, and we want jobs. And I'm here to tell you that that is the old way of life. Water, energy, and jobs are the old way of life. You don't get that. We can't give you the water and the energy. How are we going to run the data center? The data center is the new thing. It's going to power the future of America, are these data centers. Now, here's what's going to happen. We're going to have a lot of homegrown terrorists. Now, the FBI already probably watches the show. Now, they're really going to watch it. And let me say this right now. I am not for this. Let me say it clear. I'm not for this at all, but I can imagine a world where we have homegrown terrorists that start to attack these data centers. It's kind of already starting to happen, but I can certainly imagine a world where we see more and more of this as people resist their own extermination, which I'm not for. I'm not for people resisting their own extermination. Let me be very clear to the federal government. I believe people should silently become extinct and not bother anybody. I am not for people trying to fight their own extermination. They should walk into extinction quietly and gracefully and with dignity. So I'm saying this for the federal government right now. I'm telling this right now for JD and Teal and the whole gang, the whole kit and caboodle. Would never want to see a beautiful data center maimed by any of these sick people. I believe people need to accept their fate, accept the reality of where we are, that they are simply not needed. Their right to life, blah, whatever that even is, their right to exist, their right to autonomy, their right to freedom, their right to water or whatever. What even is that? Is water in the Constitution? I think not. And thou shalt, or whatever, the 10,
So he's like making a joke about like how people are starting to fight back against the data centers, and they're still pushing forward for the data centers, who's using up a lot of fresh water that we should be drinking. So he like sarcastically talks about how like we don't have a right to live and we don't have a right to water. Gray, I'll ask you about this. I wish I could ask Mia about the data centers, but Gray, I'll ask you about this one. What do you think about the government still pushing forward through the data centers, even though everybody is against it?
Shout out to Mia. Yeah, she knows more of the AI stuff than me, but I've seen a lot of talk about them using fresh water, them taking the water to cool down the data centers. I seen Vivek Ramaswamy say that the data centers should give at least free electricity. As far as social media is going, the comic relief on it is that they feel like they're building underground cities and that they're preparing for, who knows, Armageddon, and that's where they're going to hide it. AI is a huge thing. That's basically an AI bubble. That's what the economy is going on. So they have to have the data centers if you look at what's going on with the economy, because you got all these AI companies coming out and they need more servers. They need more power to power the AI. So I'm just speaking in layman's terms. I'm not going to go deep into, the technological stuff, but I do feel like people don't care about the environment as much, and they're just saying, let's push more data centers as far as the elites go.
I'm pro data centers because, like, back in the day when we were doing the Industrial Revolution, people had the same concerns. They were concerned that jobs were going to be taken. They were concerned about the machines and the environment. And again, I do care about the environment, let me be clear, but data centers are going to be the future. Like, if we don't keep up with what China's doing and other countries are doing, we are going to get left behind and we're no longer going to be the superpower. However, I am not for the water being taken. I think we need to figure out something, and I'm not for having higher electric bills. There needs to be something put back more on companies in that regard. But unfortunately, we need data centers to stay current and to stay on top. And that's what a lot of people are not telling you. It helps with efficiency and scalability of businesses. I don't like the fact that we're going into this data-driven age, but China has been there. Japan has been there. We need to catch up with them. And if we don't catch up, we're going to fall behind.
I will say a few things. The reason why they're surpassing us on a lot of technology, including like robotics and EVs. And the reason why they're able to do that is because they don't waste trillions of fucking dollars starting useless wars of aggression. They use soft power to all throughout the world with for example, their Road and Belt Initiative, and they're spreading like Chinese corporations throughout the world. Free Tibet, I'll add that in there. China is also a superpower. They also occupy illegally Tibet. They're not necessarily good guys. I think that when you talk about the Industrial Revolution at the turn of the last century, it was overall, and we're seeing it to this day, a net loss for workers and for workers' rights, because as we were expanding in our industrial technology, instead of lowering the number of hours that workers worked or increasing their wages, that's when we started seeing monopolies. After we implemented, the New Deal and labor rights and all that, we got some leeway, but not enough, because by then we were already corporate captured. That's the problem and the concern that I think that I have now with this new technology, is that I think it should, some things should be nationalized, and I'm not like a communist or anything, but some things should be nationalized, and data, Wi-Fi, things like that should be a public good. And also, using so much AI is actually not making us smart. So there was this huge study that even, I don't want to go off into this whole bender, but even with GPS, when we started relying on GPS rather than like maps and like navigating, it kind of short-circuited our brain, and it's making us less smart. Same thing with AI. Like the more you use AI and things like that to help think for you, you're kind of like doing it to yourself and short-circuiting your own brain. But I do think it's a huge crime that they're using up all of our freaking water, polluting our water, and all these corporations get away with everything because we live in this rapacious, corporate captured oligarchy. That's what I have to say about that. So I do want to talk about the trans thing. I'm going to add this video.
Hold on. Can I
go
say
ahead.
something?
Yes, please do.
First of all, y'all missed the golden comment of the year from my man's wrapped meat in his throat. Bruh said that gardening uses more water than data centers. Lord Jesus. Officer Tatum done brought the tards in the chat. Y'all missed it. Not this one. It's way up there. He said gardening. You know, you water your plants and shit. You feel me? Uses more water than data centers.
Oh, I commented on our friend of the show, real friend of the show, Andre Williams. I commented on his video like 3 weeks ago, and I'm still getting replies. And sometimes I'll look at them and I'll engage, and they don't know I'm being sarcastic and funny, and it pisses them off, and it's funny. But I'll click on some of the pages, and the way that they say some things, there's a lot of bots out there. I was so surprised. Like, I think this guy's a bot too. Like, what is he talking about? I've been trying to ignore him, but he doesn't know this guy's weird. What? So this guy's saying don't garden? What? Like,
no, that's not what he's saying. He's saying if you're concerned about the environment, you should garden. That's what I mean.
Oh, I do.
Obviously, what he said about less gardening takes up more water. I don't agree that data centers take up less water, but when we water our lawns, that takes up a ton of water. That's what he's saying. Hey, Kelly.
Yeah.
Well, Kelly. Real friend of the show.
Real friend of the show, right?
Real friend of the show.
Hi, Kelly. I haven't seen you in a while. Okay, I'm gonna add this.
That part, Ray. I'm pro data centers. I agree. This is the thing. We're gonna need data centers. I agree. We need to make sure it's solar powered, but we're gonna need it. I mean, that's the reality.
We're gonna fall behind if we don't. So how are we gonna do it? That's the thing. We got to be smart about it. What we should first do is stop spending so much money with wars, and we can invest it in actual things that matter, like technology. So
look, y'all, we already see how we gonna do it. We gonna turn into idiocracy, and instead of water, we gonna be drinking Gatorade. They about to swap out water for Gatorade. Hope you like the blue kind.
I see. Okay. Yeah. I like the red one, I think.
Or how about we invest in American engineers instead of getting them from overseas? How about that?
Yes. Amen. I agree. 100%.
Yeah. Me too.
Yes, I think the H-1B visa should be strongly revised. There's this show called For All Mankind, which is like an alternate history where instead of us landing on the moon first, the USSR, now Russia, did. So that forced us to want to be like the first ones with a center on the moon, and then we ended up pulling out of Vietnam War, and I liked the idea of like us having to save money from wars and investing it in the space race instead, and innovation that helped with innovating a bunch of other technology, and then it became the race to Mars. Honestly, that show was really good. if we were to do that, if we were to stop spending all this money on useless wars and invest it in traveling the stars and data, like real technology, real technological advances, then I mean, the moon is the limit, honestly, or the stars or the sky's the limit. We're going to talk about this because I love talking about trans people.
Thought on this.
Everybody loves trans people.
I think that trans women have a more beautiful understanding what womanhood is.
I agree.
I think that unfortunately the programming for cis women it's kind of sad sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm like, actually, no, you're woman.
Okay, let me pause. I just want to say I'm reacting to this in real time. I have not seen this clip. I don't know what we're watching.
Womanhood is not your role. Your womanhood is not.
Mia talked about it. I guess this woman says some crazy things and it's not starting good. Let's start it again.
Truest thought on this is that I think that trans women have a more beautiful understanding what womanhood is.
I agree.
I think that unfortunately the programming for cis women it's kind of sad sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm like, actually, no, your womanhood is not your role.
Mm-hmm.
Your womanhood is not your status in society. And your womanhood is not your ability to be sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
And this trans debate that's like centering all on, well, like if a quote unquote man in a dress is in a bathroom, he will rape me. I'm like, okay, well, then it sounds like the problem that we have is that men are going to rape and women are fearing rape their whole lives.
Right.
And when you talk to trans women about their womanhood, they talk about it, like almost gets me choked up. They talk about it in such this like beautiful, expansive way.
Yeah.
Of like, it's this feeling I always had.
Yeah.
You know, it's this truth I've always known. It's the most beautiful parts of me. It's my softest self. And
all right, I'll ask you, Nora, about
the question. Hold on. Is this supposed to be a trans woman or a man turning into a woman turning into a man or a man turning into a woman? This must be this is biologically a man that turned into a woman. Am I correct in that?
I'm not sure who this person is. I wish Mia was here.
I know who that is. That's Jerry Seinfeld's cousin. The fuck? This woman looks like Jerry Seinfeld, like a mug. This is crazy.
I wish I would know, but she or he presents as mask, right?
But see, this is the problem I have. I don't care what you want to be, but then don't get offended when I ask these questions because I don't understand what are they identifying as.
Yeah.
Like I really want to know. Like seriously.
Most people don't get offended. Like in my curiosity, I had this client once who walked in when I first started my legal assisting job. She worked at Nordstrom. She was a trans woman and she was dating a trans male. And in my curiosity, I grew up going to, freaking drag shows. So I've always been friends with gays. I've been a fag hag since I was like 12. So I asked them if they considered themselves to be straight because I have to ask all these intrusive, invasive questions for the way that I was setting up their discrimination case, right? Mm-hmm. And they said they loved that I was comfortable enough to be open with them. And they loved that, like, I was like, so I found that most people will engage you, but they didn't necessarily answer my question. So I guess it's just whatever people want. But then I'm not shy of asking. I think it's just an intention behind it. Like when you ask somebody, I'm not sure who this person is, or if she's presenting as masculine. But I have stud friends. My top 5 friends, 2 of them are studs, 1 of them's a super gay. And they both still refer to themselves as she. So I guess it just depends on the person. I don't agree with what she's saying here, but I do want to know what you think about this, Nora.
Well, I will never forget when I saw Malik Yoba on The Breakfast Club and he was sitting there defending trans people and they were hitting him over the head, telling him he needed to know the terms and he needed to watch how he speak. But all he was doing was leading with love and putting his career as a black male straight actor on the line to defend them. I will never forget the entitlement. And that's when I said, this is some bullshit and I will never get behind this. I'm gonna be real with you. So listening to them talk, yes, obviously as a woman, we all have concerns that we're going to be taking advantage of men, but I shouldn't have that concern in the bathroom when I'm in one of my most vulnerable states of the day using the restroom. So, yeah, I mean, leave kids alone, leave the bathrooms alone. I am actually for having a gender neutral bathroom everywhere. Mm-hmm. Or if you're a place that services the community, I am for that. So they have a safe space to go into. Mm-hmm. But I'm not for infringing on my rights and saying that we should allow men to be in the bathroom.
This is actually tying back to the woke thing, right? I think a lot of it's been co-opted and psyoped into making these social issues a distraction for what is really happening, which is we're going to get replaced soon. There's a new industrial revolution coming. There's these endless wars. There's this expansion of colonialism and empire. Those are like the real hardcore quitting issues. I will say most trans people I know agree with the bathroom and competitive sports, right? Like I'm probably more to the left than two trans people that I could think of specifically with respect to the bathrooms. Like I think gender neutral bathrooms are fine. And if you can't tell, then I mean that you're a woman, that's like, I don't mind, right? I understand people's concerns about feeling a certain way about, I think most humans are afraid of what they are unaware of or what they don't know. So once you actually get to know someone on a personal level that is trans, and you know that most people just want to survive and live. And I believe in live and let live. Most people, I believe truly, most humans are good people. There are the bad people, the ones that are controlling us and literally killing us, are the people that I would be concerned with.
Kim, you said in your anecdotal life that the trans people that they not messing with having trans people within the sport. So they must have been in an uproar with that Liam Johnson motherfucker then.
In competitive, I wanted to get a clip of that too, but I didn't get one. But in competitive sports, I've asked trans people myself, including drags, and they agree for the most part that there should be, it's either its own category or a subcategory, or similar to like fighting, where there are categories of weight and height and things like that, right? But for the most part, there aren't even enough trans people to be like, for this to be like the number one topic for conservatives to be concerned about. Like, I can't remember which state it was, but the first state to pass like a ban on trans athletes in competitive sports had like zero trans athletes currently in competitive sports enlisted. So it's more of, like I said, a distraction. And I will say, to Nora's point about the woke thing, about how people start pearl clutching and getting all sensitive and thing. I think we should all be like the trans people that I've had experiences with, just more open-minded and heartwarming, right? And accepting, because people are going to be curious. And I think that's how most trans people are. I will say, there are bad people within every single subgroup of humans that you can think of, right? You are most likely to get assaulted by somebody that you are related to. Straight men are more likely to assault than any other subgroup. Does that make sense? So I think, like Nora said, as long as you do come from a place of love, and then on the other end of it, you shouldn't be always pearl clutching and getting offended. It's okay to be offended. It's not the end of the world. Words are not violence, although we do want to feel safe and accepted and loved, and it does have a psychological aspect to it. Most trans people that I know are pretty chill, and honestly, they're really beautiful. They're more beautiful than me sometimes. So yeah, Gray. Would you like to opine?
Sure. As far as the whole trans debate, where I'm at is that with the kids, just like don't do stuff with the kids. Me and Nora did a show, and I was basically saying, I think you should be 25 before you do gender reassignment, because I feel like you should not be caring about relationships and sexual gratification that young. As far as the whole bathroom debate, we already had a family restroom. The family restroom already exists. And like I said on the show before, and I'll tell the story again, I was on a flight to New Orleans, and it was a person who I felt like was transgender. Didn't know what they were. Didn't know. It looked like a man dressed as a woman. And everybody has to use the bathroom once they're getting off the flight. So everybody's getting off the flight, and I was curious. The person who I was with was curious as well to see like what bathroom they were going to go to. They went to the women's restroom, and nothing happened. Everybody looked. I went to the male's restroom. There wasn't a bomb. There wasn't anything crazy happening. Nobody's going to go up to a person and grab their nutsack if it's there and say, hey, are you a man? That's not going to happen. If this is a trans and some trans look better than real women, no homo. So you're never going to know if that's a man or not. So like when we like had this conversation, like, are we really having this real conversation? Because it's guys that have been tricked by trans and they have been unalived because they were tricked. So when people could get on here and say, or not on here, but in general, and say, oh, this and that. If it's a good trans, like this person, you probably, I would have assumed it was a guy unless she said, hey, I'm a woman. So if you really are good, and I hate to use this word, at cosplaying, no one's going to know. So we're not going to know who's in the bathroom. And if you're looking at somebody in the bathroom, then you might be in the wrong. So I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. Kamal, do you agree that some trans women are more beautiful than women?
Hell no. Hey, y'all better not clip upgrade, goddammit. Y'all better not clip upgrade with that line. Y'all better not do that shit. You feel me? Hey, rap meat in your throat, bro. You been kind of funny these last couple of comments. You feel me? Good Lord. We got range over here, don't we? Shit. This shit crazy.
Yeah.
Come on, you have never been tricked. You have never looked at one and been like, whoa, is that a girl?
No.
Come on, man. They get BBLs, they get lip fillers, they get all types of stuff. That's what I'm afraid. I'm afraid.
No.
Kim, I'm
Great, plead the fifth. Dr. Fauci plead the fifth. You can plead the fifth too, bro.
Listen, if I get tricked, y'all ain't gonna never see me on a new party again. I can tell you that.
There are bad people in every subgroup of humans, in every religion, every ethnicity, every race, every gender, so I have known of situations where not just trans people, but people in relationships and dating will lie. I don't agree with that. I don't think that's correct. I don't know anybody who's personally done that, but I've heard of stories where like that's happened, where I have a trans friend who has a trans friend who won't, even though she's gotten the full transition, won't tell, including the voice and everything, right? But won't tell a man she's trans until she knows that he likes them. And my trans friend who told me the story tells them right away, right? So she disagrees with that, and I think that is misleading because it's, you should tell people. Like I would never go on a date and not let somebody know that I have kids, like I don't know. And that's
thank you, Ray, for the jewels.
Thank you, Ray, for the 10 jewels. That was amazing.
Kim, is your friend able to pass as a woman? Like, would a person not know that?
Yes.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's the reason.
Great. I think Ray said the jewels because he felt bad for you, because he said great with the truth. He felt you were living your truth. So thank you for being vulnerable. But I'm gonna tell you what I'm scared of. There's a lot of undercover men. We don't talk about that. That's what I'm more scared of. That.
Hold on. This funny as hell. You feel me? Before we stop like the jokes and it being funny, you feel me? Do you want me to I want to ask him an actual serious question. And look, hey, tomorrow I'm talking about the trans thing too on my show. You feel me? Nora about to come through. Gray, you could come through. Kim, you could come through too. We going at 3:30 Pacific time. That's 6:30 for Eastern time for the slow folks in the back. We're going to talk about this too, and we're going to talk about it from the angle of like, there are 2 NBA players trying to enter the WNBA draft. And also, well, since we already on it, I'm also going to bring in the Sydney Star situation. Kim, I don't know if you heard of that situation. And if you have, what are your thoughts about that, since you actually have trans friends and shit like that?
Is that the situation with the basketball players? I don't know who Sydney Star is. I'm sorry.
So, you know what? Are you going to come on the show tomorrow?
I'll go on the show tomorrow. Do you want me to try to invite a trans friend even though it's last minute?
You try to invite a trans friend? Hey, bring them up. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to know.
I have a few.
What you call.
I'm sorry?
Please
I will
do
want to know their
Please do
thoughts
it.
about the City Star thing. So I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to wait until you come on the show tomorrow.
I also have a friend who has a trans son, my daughter's age.
Okay. Look, though. Tell them straight up, though. We going to be having some jokes. So if they going to be
for real, I ain't going to be watching what I say.
Yeah.
I'll be respectful to an extent, but I ain't going to be super respectful. I'm going to be real with you.
Okay, I'll ask
I'm going to be real.
Okay, I'll ask the one person that I know of that has a sense of humor that I was telling you is I'm more lenient in the bathroom situation than even she is. She has a sense of humor. I'll ask her. I'll see. Hopefully she can come.
Okay, yeah.
But it is 3:30 and it is a weekday and she has a regular job, so I'm not sure.
Okay, well just keep me informed or whatever. So because that'd actually be cool to have somebody on with a sense of humor. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, and Kim, you probably know this too. A lot of people, and I'll just say in the LGBTQ plus community, their sense of humor be dog shit.
I think it's generational.
You think it's a generational thing?
I think it's
yes. The old ones can take jokes. It's the young ones.
It's the Gen Z.
Okay.
It's the people that came up through the coddling of the liberal universities. I'm pretty. Most older people that I know of. I'll ask one other trans friend that I know has a great sense of humor. That should be a comedian, in my opinion. I'll see. I'll try my best. Tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. I'll try my best. I'll see if I can. And if not, then I'll ask my friend who has a trans son. She doesn't really have a sense of humor though.
I don't be clowning. I'm being dead serious. I don't want somebody on the show because we already have a good camaraderie, and I want people with a little bit of sense of humor. And if she gonna come on the show, just let her know that there's gonna be some jokes.
This friend does have a great sense of humor, like me, except for this specific topic, she gets a little sensitive. But I think she's open-minded. I'm pretty sure, but it's not her who's trans. It's her son. So.
Don't bring the person with the kid. Don't bring the person with the kid, because I'm letting you know from now they ain't gonna like what I have to say.
Okay. I'll see if I can make it happen tomorrow. I'll ask a few people, two people that I could think of. This was nice. Sometimes I forget we're recording. I'm just like talking to friends. I'll start the closing up. I'll let you go first, Gray.
Great show. As far as Officer Tatum, I did see the debate. Where he got cooked at, where we didn't show the clip, was the girl who we showed in the clip. She asked him a question. She said, "Do you feel like the war on drugs was deliberately sent at Black people?" I feel like this is a more, good thing to put out, for lack of a better word. But basically, Richard Nixon's advisor said that we cannot go at hippies and Black people because it's illegal. So we have to make it where we can go at them and it's legal. So basically, they went after heroin and weed, and that's where the war on drugs happened. And Officer Tatum basically didn't have a comeback for that. So I feel like that's the bigger topic now because that's what we're dealing with now. I feel like prison reform and a lot of stuff that happened with Black people, specifically Black men, it has been affected by the criminal justice laws. As far as AOC, her freezing her eggs, I feel like one of the biggest issues we have in a political spectrum, especially from right-wing people, is dealing with people's personal rights. And that's what makes it hard for me to be right-wing, is that you're going in people's bedrooms, you're going in people's personal stuff. If she want to freeze her eggs, let her freeze her eggs. We don't know what type of fertility issues she's dealing with. And with the trans thing, I know dudes be lying, and I know it's been one time where you've been on Instagram where you just look, you was like, dang, she looked good. Then you look, they said, oh man, that's a man. You seen the booty from the back, and then you saw what she really looked like, and was like, oh man, I got finesse, and it make you question stuff. So I don't like that. So I feel like put that in your profile, put some type of, I don't want you to have to put like a scarlet letter and show that you are trans, but as we need to talk about people get finesse. Forget the bathrooms, forget all that other stuff. I'm tired. I don't want people get finesse. And Kim, if your friend tricked the dude, she deserves whatever happened to her. So have a good night. We do this every Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m.
He said dudes be lying. He said dudes be lying. No, Nora, your closing thoughts, please.
Okay, this was a great show. Great job, guys. If you're not subscribing, please hit that subscriber bell and please hit the notification bell so you know when we go live. We will be doing this every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We're taking a little break on Tuesdays, but we're working on some big things. I think I might post the screenshot of James Fishback because I voted for him today, and I wrote him, and he said, "Oh, I'm so sorry I stood y'all up. I'm going to come on." So hopefully if y'all can go and tag James Fishback and say, go on the new party, do the interview, show up to Real Floridians, because half of our team are Real Floridians. We would love to have James Fishback on. He's in the race of his life. I don't think he's going to win, but I still voted for him nevertheless. And I was torn on that vote because I know some people say he's slightly offensive and racist, but I would rather vote for him than vote for somebody that's in AIPAC's pocket at this point. And this is where I'm at. So make sure you guys go vote. Early voting is happening. Primaries are happening. And the main election is coming in November. Hopefully we have big things coming for you. Sending prayers that we do and that we're successful in that. But make sure you guys come and support us. Yes, please tag James Fishback and say, do the new party interview. I need everybody to tag James Fishback. Do the new party interview. I know Kamal got some questions for him. Gray got some questions. Kim does. I'm sure Mia does. The whole new party team does. So please tag him. And lastly, my summation on everything is Officer Tatum. I like what he stood for at one point, but can you get any lower? I think conservatism has now turned into a big rift. I believe it's important to have conservative values to preserve our country to some extent. But at the same time, I do not support people that are sympathetic to people that oppress other people. I can't get behind that. Conservatism doesn't necessarily mean that. To me, it means family values and it means morals. And sorry, Officer Tatum, I don't think you have any morals anymore because you do anything for a buck. In regards to AOC, she has zero morals. How are you going to keep having your homies lose? And yet you still say you're a woman of the people. You're a woman for the dollar. And she's another one in AIPAC's pocket. So you guys vote for her in the primary. You're a fool because she does not stand for the working class. And that's why.
That's what's up. That's what's up. A woman for the dollar. Kamal, your closing thoughts?
Nah, man. Shout out to my brother Gray, man. For real. Hey, that was for you were cracking me up, bruh. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I see what you talk about, though. You feel me? They be having the BBLs and the slice the throat down a little bit and all that shit, bro. I see what you mean, but I just never been fooled. But
anyway, he also said some trans women are more beautiful. He also said that. Mm-hmm.
He did say that. Shout, hey, Gray, shout out to you, brother. Like, hey, man, don't clip my brother Gray up, man. Y'all know what he meant, okay? Anyway, but with Officer Tatum, bro, I gotta do the music, man. Oh, he be like, don't you dare talk about my white zaddy. Oh, man, they smell like lemon pledge. That boy Nolan drowned. The black folks don't know how to swim. Don't you niggas know that? Oh, Officer Tatum, dumbass, don't know how to answer questions. Man, I've been no Burroughs a grifter before y'all even knew he was a grifter, okay? And he's on his next grift, all right? AOC, you feel me? I gotta agree with Nora and Kim, right? She is disingenuous and she cosplaying she cosplaying more as a Black American at certain speeches than I won't even say the group, but we know who we talking about. All right. So she ain't gonna never win. She doing the same thing the Democrats, most of them, do, right? To try to get the vote. Disingenuous cosplaying. Shout out to Kamala Harris. Now, with the trans thing, you feel me? I did not know that, and I learned this from Kim, because she has friends that are trans friends, that they're not with the sports stuff. Because I don't really see them actually talk about it, but people that try to be their spokesperson try to always be like, yeah, it should be trans sports and everything should be integrated. Well, you ain't the one taking a fucking punch from a fucking man when you're doing UFC as a woman fighter, right? I'm pretty sure them women don't want them trans women to be in their sports either. They talk about it, all right? Also, the bathroom thing, I understand completely. I don't want the mixing and mingles of bathrooms and shit like that. Hell no. Keep that shit separate and keep it away from the kids. All right? With that being said, look, this was a great show. Y'all go follow the new party, hit the notification bell. So you know when they go live. You feel me? Also, hit with a like, a share, repost. Also, if y'all want to come over to my end, Kamal Johnson on YouTube. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hey, even rap meat in your throat, bro. You was funny at the end, bro. Hey, you should come over to my channel, bro. You seem like you could take a joke, and you seem like you could give the jokes. You feel me? But you still, I'm pretty sure you an ugly bastard, and you look like Gremlin with 3 teeth. But anyway, everybody else have a great weekend. Shout out to Kelly Corinne that was in the chat, and shout out to our brother Ray FBA and Eric Clean. I see you in the chat too. Peace out, y'all. Well, I'm still on the camera. There we go.
Good night, everyone. Come back next week. We're going to end the stream.
Sisters,
we shall not yield to tyranny.
Our cause just, we will prevail. The fight for our rights. Buffs. Ready for a journey back? Look at this encampment. The spirit of 76 is alive.
Bobby, at this point, history. Shame on you. Shame on you. Because we are being played as the American people. Our money is funding a war that we don't need to be in. I shouldn't be okay with it. So as long as I have breath in my body and a mic to use, I will be speaking out against this.
A true patriot savors these moments, but the fight for liberty calls.
The economy, we have a global economy. That's why we're a #1 economy in the world. I know that a lot of people want to paint the horrible view of America, but, you know, go live somewhere else and then tell me America's bad.
Patriotism is all about. Look at these flags. They represent our fight for liberty.
This is so freaking crazy to me that we have an conflict with Iran before a single person from the Epstein files has been arrested on American soil.
The hour of our liberty is at hand. For freedom is bravo. Brothers and sisters.
I was working, man, you know, but it's good to see Rippy out there handling business, man. And again, hey, that's a lot of black Trump supporters, man. I mean, it feels good to see them, man. So
My fellow patriots, the hour of decision is upon us. Let us march forth with courage to secure our liberty.
A real quote. People are getting sick of it. The moment a celebrity steps slightly outside the leftist approved narrative, they get attacked. Chili from TLC gets heat over allegedly donating to Donald Trump.
For liberty. The British advance. We must act.
Our supplies are low, but morale is high.
Then we fight for liberty.
Payne's work captures the spirit of we fight for independence.
With welcome to my that said they were anti-war. I think they said no new wars. Yeah, they voted for a president that was not going to start any new wars. And what's funny to me is that not only were you lied to, not only did this man start this and get out of the
freedom. Greetings from the encampment. The spirit of liberty is strong. We will fight for our rights and our freedom.
Just in order to get the Greater Israel Project accomplished, you have to kill people. That's why it's wrong. Killing people is wrong. Full stop. So you can try to make sense of it with, well, it's a threat and this and that. There's no greater threat than the United States empire.
Vocabulary up because I'm throwing out words like hubris, acquiesce, verbose. What are you going to do about the dichotomy of the nuance?
To the encampment, for liberty.
And what I've learned, and I'm not a liberal or a Democrat. I voted for Trump the first time, but he's become a politician. He lies like all the other politicians. He deceives like all the other politicians.
And driving! Soldiers, the enemy is near.
Not only do I love my FBA fam, my Black American fam, my Black people on code, you know, my people that's allies with us, as part of the fam. I love y'all. I love my country too. You feel me?
The cause to victory.
To victory. These pastries are wonderful.
Indeed, but we must stay vigilant.